At the movie's start, we are introduced to three students, Shun, Amaya, and Ichika. In the background, we hear a voice complaining to God about how boring their life is. The scene then shifts to a college classroom where Shun and his classmates are present. On the desk, there's the head of a doll called Daruma. This doll forces the students to play a game. The Daruma doll sings a song, and if it sees anyone moving afterward, it kills them and turns them into red marbles. The students panic as they don't understand the rules of the game. One by one, they start dying. Two boys try to escape by opening the door, but it's locked, and the doll kills them as well. One of the students, a gamer boy, suggests that they read the message written behind the doll. The message says that pressing the button will end the game. A boy immediately runs to press the button, but the doll turns around and kills him. Shun notices a timer on the back of the doll and realizes they don't have much time. Hearing this, several other students try to press the button but are also killed. Eventually, only Shun and the gamer boy remain, as the others have been turned into red marbles. The dead bodies make it difficult to reach the button. As time passes, the gamer boy suggests that Shun use his back to jump over the bodies and press the button. Shun finally manages to press the button, ending the game. The survivors celebrate, but the Daruma doll announces that Shun is the only winner of the game and kills the gamer boy. The movie then goes into a flashback, showing Shun's normal and boring life. Shun spent most of his time sitting on a couch playing video games and watching TV. One day he goes out with his gamer friend and Ichika, a girl, notices him. Shun's friend suggests that he confess his feelings to Ichika because she likes him too. Ichika attends the same school as Shun and also loves playing video games. Shun replies that he doesn't feel anything for Ichika and sees her as just a good friend. On their way to the classroom, they see Amaya bullying another boy. Amaya is the school bully. The scene then shifts to the classroom, where Shun falls asleep. A loud noise wakes him up, and at that moment, his teacher's head explodes. This is when the Daruma doll appears in the classroom, marking the beginning of the events shown at the start of the movie. In the present, Shun prays to God to send him back to his boring life. The Daruma doll calls Shun a mouse and hints that a cat will soon appear for him. Meanwhile, Ichika reaches Shun's classroom and is shocked by the state of the room. Shun asks her if she knows what's going on, but Ichika is just as confused. They try calling the police, but there's no signal. They also attempt to escape the school, but all exits and doors are locked. The two of them run toward the basketball court where they see some students in mouse costumes who survived the Daruma doll game. On the floor, they notice some words written. The school president tells them to wear the costumes. Suddenly, the floor of the basketball court opens up, and a giant plastic cat emerges. The cat starts eating the students one by one, leaving everyone terrified. Shun notices that the cat has a bell, resembling a ball with a timer on it. He tells everyone that to end the game, they need to throw the bell into the basket on the cat's neck. A student who is good at basketball attempts to throw the bell, but the cat catches it and kills him immediately. Shun realizes that the cat only targets students wearing the mouse costumes. He tells everyone to take off their costumes. The students follow his advice and remove their costumes. The cat sits still for a while, but as soon as the students start celebrating, it eats another student. Seeing this, the students panic and start running again. During this chaos, Ichika falls. Shun immediately takes action and puts on a mouse costume to divert the cat's attention toward himself. After wearing the costume, Shun realizes that he can hear the cat's voice through it. So far, the cat had only one request: someone scratch its back so it could sleep peacefully. Shun quickly climbs onto the cat's back and starts scratching it. He even asks the other students for help. Gradually, the cat falls asleep. After the cat dozes off, Shun picks up the bell and attempts to place it in the basket. However, the other students stop him, arguing that the one who scores the bell should be declared the winner. Hearing this, everyone starts fighting each other. As the fight escalates, the cat wakes up again and begins attacking the students. Shun devises another plan. He, along with Ichika, hides the bell inside a regular basketball to trick Cat. They throw the ball toward the basket and prepare to celebrate, but the bell bounces off the rim. At that moment, Amaya arrives and scores the bell with perfect timing, ending the game. Cat announces that only Shun, Ichika, and Amaya will survive. Amaya declares that only the strongest can survive as ordained by God. Then he kills the last remaining student. Following this, Amaya approaches Shun and tells him, "We are alike because we both have the strength to survive." However, Ichika disagrees and argues that Shun is kinder, stronger, and smarter than Amaya. This infuriates Amaya, and he attempts to attack Ichika. Just then, cat sprays a gas from its mouth, knocking everyone unconscious. In the next scene, a news channel broadcasts that the events happening in schools have been declared terrorist attacks. Large cubes float over the city, and neither the army nor the police department has been able to find a way inside. The media reveals that the survivors of these events are being called God's children for managing to survive such tough situations. Shun wakes up in a room alongside other survivors, including his friend Miura, a shy girl named Yumi, and an intelligent student named Leo. Shun realizes he is still trapped in this deadly game and tries to escape, only to find all the doors locked. Leo informs Shun that the only way to escape is to win. Suddenly, a screen announces that they must find keys to escape. Shortly after, 4 wooden dolls enter the room, introduce themselves, and explain the rules of the next game. The rules are as follows. Each participant will be blindfolded and the dolls will circle them while singing a song. When the song stops, the participant has 10 seconds to guess which doll is behind them. If the answer is wrong, the participant will die. If the dolls lose, they will explode, leaving behind the keys to unlock the door to the next level. The game begins. Leo confidently takes the first turn, followed by Yumi. Both fail to guess correctly, and the dolls kill them. When it's Miura's turn, Shun volunteers to play instead. As the dolls sing and stop, Shun cleverly identifies their voice and wins the game. He then revealed that he had recorded the dolls' voices while Yumi was playing. After the game ends, the dolls explode, leaving behind a key, which Shun picks up before leaving the room with Miura. Outside, they encounter a boy running from a doll. The boy asks them to hold his hand, explaining that dolls cannot harm those holding hands. Shun and Miura help him, and the doll leaves them alone, saying it envies those with strong friendships. Shun notices Miura wearing a pendant and flashes back to a rooftop scene where Miura is about to commit suicide. She saw Shun breaking cups and glass walls in anger. Shun handed Miura some cups to break, which lightened her mood. Back in the present, Miura is wearing the handle of one of those cups. Suddenly, they hear a girl screaming. Following the sound, they find Ichika fleeing from a doll. Shun immediately grabs her hand, saving her. Shortly after, a wall collapses, revealing the doll's face with 7 keyholes. Shun and his group arrive, where 2 contestants are already waiting. They count their keys and realize 3 are still missing. Suddenly, Amaya arrives with the remaining keys, killing his partner to ensure only 7 contestants qualify for the next round. When all 7 locks are opened, the doll's face announces the winners and retreats into the wall. A voice instructs them to enter the passage and wear the provided costumes. It is revealed that all these games are being broadcast nationwide. In the next scene, they enter a frozen room where a large polar bear introduces itself. It states that it despises liars and black-hearted people. The game's rule is simple: always tell the truth. Lying will result in death. The game begins with the polar bear asking everyone about their favorite food. All participants share their preferences, but the bear declares that one of them is lying. To save themselves, the others accuse the boy of lying. The bear exposes his lie and kills him instantly, terrifying the others. In the next round, the bear asks whether they like Shun. Those who know him, including Miura, say yes, while the others say no. The bear still believes someone is lying. The participants accuse Miura, claiming she hasn't been in contact with Shun for a long time. Despite Shun's desperate efforts to save her, the bear kills Miura. Enraged by his friend's death, Shun accuses the polar bear of being the real liar. At this, the bear's color changes, revealing that it has been lying from the start. The bear melts away and the contestants proceed to the final round. When the door opens, 3 wooden dolls welcome them and congratulate them on reaching the final stage. The dolls introduce themselves to the remaining students. The final game, Kick the Can, begins. In this game, one participant becomes the demon, while the others play as victims. The demon places the can in the circle's center, giving the victims time to hide. The demon must find and jail the victims by identifying their faces. If all victims are jailed, the demon wins. However, if a victim kicks the can, the victims win, but the kicker dies due to the can's explosion. Each participant draws a stick, and Amaya ends up as the demon. He places the can on the ground and begins searching. 2 students are quickly captured. Ichika sacrifices herself to distract Amaya, giving Shun a chance to escape. After imprisoning Ichika, Amaya declares he doesn't need to find Shun to win. In the final scene, Shun emerges wearing a metal suit that conceals his face. He tells Amaya it's impossible to catch him now. Amaya dismisses this as foolish and removes Shun's helmet. Just as Amaya is about to kick the can and end the game, he realizes Shun has chained him. Shun dives into the water, pulling Amaya with him. Amaya tries to rescue Shun, only to find that Shun has already removed his armor. Slowly, Amaya was approaching the can. Suddenly, Amaya managed to free himself and ran toward the can, but Shun kicked it first. Everyone braced for an explosion, but nothing happened. The game finally ended, and the dolls declared everyone a winner, except Amaya. They also revealed that the explosion was a lie, designed to make the game more interesting. Furious, Amaya grabbed one of the dolls and shouted that he shouldn't have lost because he was chosen by God. The dolls laughed and explained that none of them were going to die. Fireworks lit up the sky in celebration, and each winner was given an ice cream as a reward. While eating their ice creams, Shun finally asked Ichika out on a movie date and confessed how much he liked her. Ichika happily said yes. However, as their ice creams melted, they noticed something written on the sticks. The dolls revealed that even after making it this far, they still needed luck to survive. Amaya and Shun's sticks read, "You live," while the sticks of the other three, including Ichika, read, "You die." One of the dolls then killed the losers, and Ichika disappeared into thin air, right in front of Shun's eyes. The game was finally over. Shun and Amaya stepped out of the cube, greeted by a crowd, cheering for them and calling them God's children. Amaya was ecstatic about his victory, but Shun was heartbroken and declared that there was no such thing as God. At that moment, one of the dolls responded, "You're wrong, God does exist." And with that, the movie ended. If you enjoyed the movie, please subscribe to the channel.